Thanks for hanging in with me whilst I get these renovations done on the new workshop. There's still quite a ways to go, but to give you a bit of an idea, this is some of the upcoming projects that I've got on my wish list. And if you're following along with all these projects, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And feel free to leave a comment in the comment section on which project you'd like to see me do first. They're not in any particular order of when I intend to tackle them. As time goes on, I've got a couple of collaborations planned in the wings as well, so you'll have to keep an eye out for those projects as well. And a lot of the title projects that you can see here may go into greater depth with a number of different items from each project title. And hopefully the new workspace and having the new equipment that I'm setting up will allow me to get to some of these more complicated ideas that I've had for a long time now. So anyway, this is where I'm up to now. This bracing strap is the stuff that they use today. They used to use a full beam of wood, but nowadays they just use the strap. The biggest thing with it is trying to get it tight or taut so that it does what it's supposed to do. These larger holes that you can see here, normally they put a little tool in there which is clamped up and sort of kinks the metal together, which is what tightens it. But there is a quicker and easier way to do it, and I'll just show you really quickly the way I do it. First thing to do is anchor at the bottom where you actually want it to be. Next thing is to go up to the very top, okay, and then just put in a temporary nail in there. Put the nail in at about 45 degrees so that the metal sits flush to the wood. And then just come down and put a center nail anywhere along that center length to make sure that the strap is nice and straight. So once that's done, this is obviously way too loose. So the way I've come up with tightening it is if you take a nail and put it in at 45 degrees, but only put it in just slightly, and then if you put a screwdriver in through the larger hole there, and you put tension on that strap so that it tightens up the strap, that'll pull the nail into a straight position, as you can see there. And once the nail's straight, you want to just hammer that in, and then that will keep the tension on that strap. And that brings that tight. So you can see how much tension that adds to that strap. And then if you repeat that as you go along, it tightens up the entire strap one by one. So once those bracing straps were put in place, I could then finish off putting up all the boards around the outside area. The biggest thing with doing that is I had to move some of the stuff that I had in the shed for storage, and I've just tarped it up in the center of the room there because I was using this section over here as the door. So obviously with having that walled up, I couldn't get out. I've had to use the door of the old shed, so I've just set myself up with a temporary pathway there. That is where the double doors are going to go, and the single door at the back is just that one there. The big noticeable absence at the moment, obviously, I've got no roofing structure happening, and it looks like that might be slightly delayed for some reason at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see what's happening as far as that's concerned. So whilst I'm waiting for that, I've moved on to other areas where I can, including setting up where the power is going to be going. I've already run the cables through the wall there. You can see that the switches are in place and bagged up and ready for being attached to the inside lining of the wall. I've also set up a secondary breaker box for the main line that comes into the building. The idea for that is for my own personal convenience as much as anything else, because the main switchboard is right down the other end of the property. It just means I can come to my own little breaker box and turn stuff off if I ever need to do any electrical work in the workshop. The other thing that's really nice now is I actually have an abundance of power points. I've put in 10 power points around the walls, and each power point has 2 outlets, which gives me 20 outlets altogether, and I've set them at what I consider to be a nice usable height as far as access is concerned. The setup as far as the power is concerned is pretty simple. I've just split it up into 2 different zones, one zone going off to the left, one zone going off to the right, and they're on 2 separate breakers. The other 3 that you can see there are going to be for the lighting. The lighting will be operated off one main switch. As I come in the door, the lights are going to be set up in 3 separate banks of 2 lights each, and it just means I can switch off individual banks if I decide that I want to. So apart from putting the door frames on now and getting the doors put in place, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm running out of things to do until these roofing material starts to arrive. But nevertheless, I still feel like it's progressing pretty well. So anyway guys, that's the update for this time. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.